kakayahan, parehong karapatan.
Kaya kong magtrabaho.
Karapatan kong maglibang. Kaya kong tumugtog para sa buong mundo.
Karapatan namin, kakayahan namin. Igalang ninyo. A message from the National Council on Disability Affairs.
Hello, it's a wonderful rainy afternoon here in Cagayan de Oro City. Today is 14th of July 2017. This episode is brought to you by Philippine Information Agency in partnership with Limkit Kailaks Hotel through the support of Parasat Cable TV. I am Jam Ruket, and with me is none other than the General Manager of Limkit Kailaks Hotel, Mr. Jerome De La Fuente. Good afternoon, Jerome.
Good afternoon, Jam. It's also good afternoon and good evening and good morning to the people who are viewing us from the U.S. And of course, we're always lucky to have this Talakayan here in Cagayan de Oro. Of course, that's again with Parasat. It's a region-wide cable station, even the worldwide PIA's YouTube channel.
Yes, and Jerome, we are celebrating the 39th National Disability and Prevention Week from 17 to 23rd of July 2017. The theme this year is Karapatan, Pribilehiyo ng May Kapansanan, Isa Katuparan at Ipaglaban. So this focuses on the realization of the fundamental freedoms and rights of persons with disabilities as provided for in existing international mandates and national laws.
Okay, this time we want to know the updates from the previous discussion, this was done last year, yes, right? When we had our first telecast with them on the disability group. At the same time, learn the new projects and innovations being implemented by the government and non-government agencies to make their lives easy.
Yes, so all right, we are happy to have our guest this afternoon. First, we have the head of Cagayan de Oro Persons with Disabilities Affairs Office, Ma'am Milagros Makiling. We also have the chairman of Cagayan de Oro Council on Disability Affairs, Mr. Rolando Damaulao. We also have the president of Cagayan de Oro Federation of Persons with Disabilities, Maria Liza G. Corpus. And later on, we're going to have the president of the Deaf Association of Misamis Oriental, Ms. Johaidi Balite. And of course, we have from the National Government Agency, the Regional Director of Land Transportation Office, we have Regional Director Oscar Salcedo. And may I also acknowledge our national government agencies who's in the audience right now to answer perhaps some of the queries later on. We have from DSWD, Merly Ann Lobo. We have Mr. Sean Alejandre Uy, Ms. Mitzi Santiago. We have from TESDA, of course, Ma'am Elaine Borromeo. And Department of Information Communications Technology, we have Mr. Felix S. Tabanao Jr. And of course, from LTFRB, we have Mr. Pakasung Makadatar. So thank you all for coming. And of course, our media and blogger friends are here as well. So thank you for coming.
Okay, let's start with Mila. What's up, Mila? Can you give us an update?
So, hello, hi everyone, good afternoon. And of course, the persons with disabilities in Cagayan de Oro City are thankful for this activity given by PIA, an activity, of course, together with Lax Hotel, no? Of course, Sir Jerome is here with us, and Ma'am Jam, and all the other, we also have here with us my fellow persons with disability leaders here in Cagayan de Oro City. And for the updates, yes, since we had the last telecast last year, and of course, we did discussed a lot of things last year, and one of which was the number of persons with disabilities in CDO. Is it increasing? Of course it is, no? Right now, we have in our roster of persons with disabilities who came in for their PWD IDs. We have more than 3,000 enlisted right now. Okay, but if we try to look at population, because the World Health Organization says that at least 10% of the population, of a given population, are persons with disabilities. And if we have at least 1.4 million right now in CDO, wow, that would mean 140,000. So quite far from what we have right now. So we still have a lot of things to do to keep it up. I mean, and the data that we have right now. So, of course, this is one of the very reason why we are here, so that together with the other government line agencies, we have here from DSW and a lot more, so we can do some things to keep this data, to fast track this data here in CDO, I guess.
Going back first to the situation, last year we discussed about this. What is the benefits of that you get? But what worries me is from the last conversation we had, there seems to be no improvement. Because what I would want to see, and personally I would want you to be able to track every city in Region 10, how many disabilities are really there and what benefits are they getting from us. Maybe they don't come forward. If they don't come forward, then we should bring ourselves to the barangay level. And because from that conversation with the barangay, maybe we can turn these guys around into barangay tourism officers to promote what's new in their barangay. So I'm looking at a two-prong attack here, meaning let's make the barangay aware of what tourism can bring. At the same time, we can track everybody that has to be tracked. I mean, the PWDs. Because since the last conversation last year, I am not very happy with what I'm hearing from you. We should have gained headway already. So how do we fast track this? What is needed for you to ensure that we're able to track everybody? Yes, we're talking of national ID, but the guys in the Imperial Court of Manila has not said anything. Now there's such thing as the ID for the Muslim and for the Christian and whatnot. We're all Filipinos, guys. There is no such thing as Christian, there's no such thing as Muslim. Now, Mila, I'd like to know what is needed or what can Talakayan do in order, yes, we are transcending ourselves down to the barangay, but what is there to be done that is not done in order to fast track the numbers that we need?
I guess what really needed is the cooperation from the barangay from the barangay level. We need to the barangay captains will also do something, from their constituents, specifically the persons with disabilities. They can at least if they do list their own, get the list of their own PWDs and their own barangays, and then forward it to us, then that's, I guess, one of the best ways. Because, of course, these persons with disabilities are constituents of in the barangay level. So,
have we done something towards bringing in the barangay captains, talking to them, telling them the importance why we are tracking every PWD? Was there an effort by the city government or the provincial government to do this? Or do we need to make our presentations with the mayor and the governor to ensure that the barangays, this is DILG, right?
DILG.
So do we need the DILG to mandate this, that the barangay has to submit at a certain... We need a commitment from DILG.
yes. Actually, DILG is one of the government line agencies, aside of course from DSWD, who are mandated to in the barangay level, of course, there are a lot of PWD laws now implemented, but there seems to be some
no political
it's still
will.
wanting. Yeah, there's no political will in it. So I guess it's the duty also of DILG to fast track, to implement it on the ground.
Have we invited the director of the DILG here to at least to witness what this discussion is all about? If we don't, do we have a list of the barangays? Meaning the barangay captains. Yes, some of them are caught somewhere, but there be a list and they be written. Maybe they have to be written in a different way. Explain to them that we need your help. Because if we just shove it down their throat, the ILG is mandated. Yeah, if it's mandated, so be it. Nothing happened up to today. So how can we fast track? One is write a letter to the DILG representation that, it was discussed in Talakayan that we have not achieved the numbers that we want, but we need your cooperation, not just DILG, but let's go down to the barangay level and see for ourselves what we can get from them. If we have to go there, as I said to you yesterday, if we telecast in the barangay itself, then we can, I'm sure, unearth more issues that have not been discussed.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We are going to
discuss.
Go with the DILG plan. Okay, so the theme says this year's celebration is about focusing on realization of fundamental freedoms and rights of PWDs. So this is in accordance with the law. So far, what laws have been implemented for the PWDs, and have you availed for maybe?
What laws do you have?
Have you availed of perhaps the discounts or for the benefit?
Well, as of now, there are laws solely for persons with disabilities. So that started with the PP 344. That's about accessibility law. And if we can see the implementation of this, it's still wanting as we we see, no?
So that's with the LTO.
Yeah, LGU. LG.
No, the
DILG. Accessibility. It's all over. It's mandated for all, both private and public establishments.
Yeah, but
it's all over. It's mandated for all, both private and public establishments.
Yeah, but the ramps and all that stuff.
Yes, these are physical features, of an establishment. It has to be accessible. There are some measurements to be complied with, with those ramps, the CRs, and a lot more. So, aside from accessibility, we also have, of course, the Magna Carta for persons with disabilities, followed right after, because accessibility is almost 4 decades right now, and it's still wanting. And of course, the Magna Carta, and we have an amendment of the Magna Carta for the privileges of the persons with disabilities, that's RA 9442. And then we have RA 10,070, that's the establishment of persons with disability affairs offices in all provinces, cities, and municipalities. That's why I was installed as the PIDA officer of CDO. And we also have the law on employment, at least a reservation of the 1%. In the workforce, in all government, in both private and government offices, there should be at least the reservation of at least 1%. So there should be persons with disabilities there. And of course, there is also this RA 10754. This is more on the discounts and the tax exemption of the persons with disabilities. And right now, included in our sector is the persons, those persons having chronic illnesses. So that's RA 10747. And we have also EO 417. And there are also legislations on establishing accessible polling places for persons with disabilities. So all this, I guess, they look forward for making better the lives of the persons with disabilities. However, there is however in there, the issue is more on the implementation. So,
It's not strictly implemented.
yeah, not quiet. So
In like what? In what areas?
in accessibility, as we can see, as I have said, a lot of establishments in the city are not compliant to the law, and also the 10524, the employment. So they cannot even give us the number of persons employed per PWDs in their establishments. So these are, as as we try to look back, we were still lag behind, as we see on in the labor force. We believe we cannot compete with those able persons in the open market. But of course, there are also persons with disabilities who have finished 4-year courses, and they're not also taken in, as we can see. Say, for instance, Lisa here is a graduate of accounting, and she's not accepted because, as always, establishments would always say with pleasing personality.
Let's go to something different. Like one of our guests is our foremost regional director of the Land Transportation
Office.
No other than the guy, Mr. Oscar Salcedo. What are the many problems that you encounter with PWDs, and was there any adjustment? I know not all PWDs can drive, but some of them can do. The cars are readily done now that in such a way that the PWDs can. Have you made any adjustment on the transport system?
Last 2 weeks ago, I have this memorandum about serving the facilities that we have in the office, no? And basically, our first floor are PWD friendly. So the problem now is we have second story. So I told our staff that if there are PW downstairs, just tell me, so I'll go down. For the meantime, but we are planning to come up with this lift. We just discussed this 2 weeks ago, and this morning we're about to put this lift, no? Maybe just like Cagayan restaurant, just like Cagayan restaurant. There's a lift from first floor, second floor. That's our plan, no? This MBIS, the office that we have now, is intended for inspection area. No, this is not actually intended for LTO office. We have another property somewhere in Ipunan where we could construct the building for LTO, and I'm sure all of our rooms, for our buildings, is compliant with these PWD requirements. No, when it comes to it's our office. No, soon. No, I hope the budget will not really be a problem to us. But basically, that's one of my concerns now, because one is you invited me, so I have to work on it. Yo, Jerome, so hopefully within the year, we can come up with the budget for that lift. No, I don't know how to go about it, but for the meantime, if there are PWDs downstairs, just call us and we will go down. So no problem with that. Now, in our allowing PWDs to drive, no, one is he should have, of course, his eyes are not affected. Of course, that's a basic, no. And then there are modifications in the car that you can make use of your. Actually, the other 3 months ago, I approved an American white tail, but can't really drive, no. So he has a driver license from the state. So all I have to do is convert the driver license. They can drive in the Philippines. We don't discriminate. There's no such thing as discrimination in LTO about, of course, kung di sa kita, problema. As long as you have your both hands together and then your eyes, no problem with that. No, ang problema ng lugar katulad ng acceleration. No, as long as you have two hands, you can handle the wheel and the eyes to see. There's no problem with that. Ang ato lang yung gatong pag-accelerate, pag-stop, brakes, and all those things. Yan ang problema. But if you have still working hand or working feet or whatever, we have to check. We have doctors. Now, all applicants for driving license has to go through the doctor. No? If the doctor says, okay na siya, we'll do it. They are authorized, or some say they are professionals on this particular matter. In implementing the laws, no, we have, of course, we have a lot of rules to be followed, no, and in compliance with this PWD. This is actually supposed to be answered by LTFRB, no. For every application that you have, there should be one space or one or two seats intended for passenger who are, shall we say, PWD, no? Now, if there is no passenger, of course, you can use that. But the moment na ay pasahero, there are PWDs want to sit on the reserved seats for W, one has to give up.
But also,
So, one thing also is we're coming up. I will be talking with the LTFRB Director, Bugoro, and I think we'll again re-examine those signboards, those stickers reserved for PWD, no? We have to implement that again. I'm sure there is an ongoing implementation of this, no? Coming up and me, we apprehend drivers who don't give priorities to PWD.
But I have a question with you. Now, we're talking of PWD's accessibility to the transport. But are the buses here equipped with a gadget or something that would lower down for them to go up? A ramp, a lifter, or a ramp for that matter?
Our buses here.
opportunity that we
That's
can...
a very good. We should have that. We should have that. No? The city should have that, no? Or the LTFRB can require that all buses that has this thing, no? Automatic na siya. It will just push the button and the
lower down.
If not necessarily it has to go down, the mechanism will lead to so that the wheelchair can pass on.
Another thing that I've noticed here, let's say in our very own Landingan Airport. It's not Lagindingan, no. I call it Landingan Airport, guys.
Landingan.
Trust it. It's not Lagindingan.
It's
Anyway.
not. Yeah, it's not.
It's not. The problem here is, okay, we have two tubes. One tube, the one is not available, so there's only one left. When you have a passenger that has to go up, there is an issue. If it's not in the tube, then we have an issue because they have to bring down the passenger at the tarmac. From the tarmac, you wheel the guy. How will you bring the guy to the plane?
But I think they have some procedure with the PWDs, no? If they are in wheelchair, they will assist. They can make use of the lift, or they can go up or go down with the help of. There's an elevator.
Actually, for the accessibility here in Cagayan de Oro City, I kind of push for the creation of a TWG, or a technical working group for the accessibility. So it was approved by the city council, and soon the TWG will soon monitor on one very important work to do is for them and for us all to do the monitoring, side by side with the government, also the ordinary, the private person has also the role or the responsibilities to do so.
I heard, dismantle a portion and then have it accessible to PWD's wheelchairs, no? So we can start with that, no? We can start with that. If the mayor is really would like to see the city to be PWD friendly, I think we'll start with barangay. And you can do it. All you have to do is, okay, all barangay official, see to it that all sidewalks must have this
Access ramp.
area for how do you get ramp? Yes, ramp. So automatic 40 barangays will do for that, no? But if you have to depend on the, it will take time. So it should be one order from the mayor to all barangay 1 to 40 provide ramp for all sidewalks.
Especially at the crossing
Sidewalk
area.
na. Oh.
But Mila,
Committee on all sector, but really maybe let's not think that the government can do everything. We on the private sector should be doing our share, because everybody always points a finger on the government. That's not their problem also. It's our problem, so let's work together with the government. You cannot keep on pointing fingers there. We as a community, we as a residents of Cagayan de Oro, or the region then for that matter, should help. Do something about it. Don't just make noise. Do it. Yes, what can we say?
As what Jerome has said, parang mahirap. Pero based on our experience, medyo okay karon nga years compared before. There were improvements, although baby steps ika nga, snail pace, pero at least we are looking forward to getting there. Just like what you've said, sir, nga kinahanglan we should join hands kay dili lang na siya kanang government nga problem. It is our problem. We persons with disabilities ourselves should be insistent sa atong mga rights, observant na ma-practice yun siya sa barangay level, mostly kagaya ng sinabi ni Director, kay mangyod ang mga persons with disabilities, labi na katong mga dili pa empowered, naara sila din sa barangay. Wala pa sila ka-come out sa ilang shell tungod sa very low self-esteem. So, kinahanglan yun, daghan ang effort nga kinahanglan buhaton sa barangay.
That you should tap also is the OBO, Office of Building Official. If you could make a representation to the OBO, request a requirement that for every building to be constructed, they should provide access sa kining sidewalks. I think that's a very basic na siya. It's a basic na siya. And for those building that has, 4 or 5 stories or more, they should require the lift. So that's very basic. It should be part of the or some requirement for every building to be constructed that they should provide access or lift for PWDs.
Ubo, the of Obo here in Cagayan de Oro at one time during the meeting also asked herself, she said she cannot control all the establishments, like during the what we call that, the kind of blueprint. There are features, very accessible, but after the building was constructed, so those features were gone, or if they were complied with partial compliance only. So something, a monitoring committee has to be created to monitor those accessibility features.
I think.
Well, one of the things is, of course, it's the city hall. One, before you come up, I'm basing on the way I built our house. First, you have a blueprint. You have the drawings done. Then it goes to the city government for chopping. They check, and then upon construction, you will be checked on your requirements. If you do not comply, this is in Makati, you get fined. But I don't think we have reached that stage here.
That's why.
If we do not have an iron rule, it's not going to work. Yeah. It's always we bend rules. My connection is here, my connection is there. Itago na, let's just keep it under here. Then we are not getting anywhere. But if we have very strong voice to the city government, maybe this will work. Anything else?
In addition, Sir Jerome, how fast track, the concern of persons with disability. I think the fast track for that needs is the heartily implementation of the old laws. And also talking about the accessibility laws, the Makati, there are fines already, but kung titingnan natin, I remember last year na nagkaroon tayo ng kapihan dito na I would suggest that DPWH as a lead agency for the BP 344 to amend that. And because the law itself that is discriminating intended for the blind, sick, and also the deaf. It because the law itself is nakafocus lang doon sa rampa. Nawala dyan yung accessibility for the blind at saka yung accessibility for the deaf. And the other ones nga nakikita natin kahit bulag tayo, kahit bakit hindi yun mag-comply yung mga contractor, yung mga engineers? Because the fines already is very smaller. Titingnan natin yung baby trip is only 5,000. But you can make the ramp is only more than 5,000. I am engineer. Much better you can find the 5,000 kaysa mag yeah. That's the problem. So I think that is one to the factor to push, no, especially for the DPWs as a lead agency for these laws to amend this law. And the other thing, I think the disability I hear, but I wish the DepEd also here, because I have a concern. There are 28 years concern intended for the persons with disability, especially for the visually impaired. There are laws, I think, nakalimta ni Ate Mila, intended for the blind is only laws. That is, the blind is a subsector of the persons with disabilities. I think the Republic Act 6759, laws intended for the blind. That law is creating last 1989. That is 28 years now already. The lead agency is DepEd. The vice of lead agency DSWD, I think I would like to thank the DSWD is here. The members, DOH, PIA, and the blind organization. Malinaw yan sa Republic Act 6759. So ang tanong ko doon sa DSWD, being a vice chair for this Republic Act 6759, the mandated the White Cane Act, no? This coming August 1 celebration, every August 1 celebration, the White Cane Day. Kumusta na?
Okay, I guess...
On behalf of Frank, our regional director, I will address this issue with him on the development or the laws pertaining to the people of... But is the DSW with us?
Yes, we have DSW.
I hope we can hear something from DSW on these challenges that we're encountering here in the area.
Waiting for the budget, which we will be counterparting to the city for the incoming celebration this August 1. So as of now, we have only received budget from NDPR, and yet we are still waiting for our budget for the White Cane celebration. Thank you.
Now that because we don't have the DepEd chair or whoever is chairing this, maybe we can discuss this in another session, or we can discuss this after the show, because otherwise we would not know where this associate or this law is going to go. Maybe it's just one of those laws written.
All right, thank
Anything
you so much,
else?
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we'd like to go on to a different topic this time, because recently Mamila shared to us that the DICT, Department of Information Communications Technology, gave a training for PWDs. So, sir, we have here Mr. Felix Tabanao Jr. Sir, can you share with us what the training was all about? And do you see any opportunities for the PWDs to get an online job just like everybody else?
Yes, ma'am. For that, in behalf of our Director Ibame C. De La Rosa, who is not around now, then regarding the trainings that we have with the DICT, we have that specialized program giving capacitating and specialized training on what we call digital literacy training. That is directly under with the National ICT Competency Management. And then that's right, ma'am, this afternoon there are 15 about to graduate from this 5 days digital training person with disability.
What is the end goal of this, sir? Are you going to help them find employment after, or?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this digital literacy training is just a series of training. This training, I believe, is on virtual assistant that is giving them knowledge on how to go on online work with the internet, giving that you have, for instance, laptop or computer at home, then that would serve as your virtual office wherein you can work as a freelance or just like the call center agent. They can work online.
Oh, it's a very
nice project, but unfortunately, there's not many people who have computers at home. So I'm soliciting the help of the corporate world here in Cagayan de Oro, in Region 10. If you can spare us your computer, but of course it must be a working computer and is updated. Don't give me panahon pa ni Matusalem. I really need a computer. We have 15 graduates. We are soliciting 15 computers, and hopefully we can hear from you. My number is 917-822-8698. Please call me. I'm looking for 15 computers.
Yes, thank you.
And also, I'd like to know exactly what's in the training, because if your training is just very basic, we're not getting anywhere with them. What we would like to see, and since you already volunteered your services, maybe how you can make money online. These are the things we'd like to know, because they can work from home as an entrepreneur. Now, can you give us the syllabus, what you really had in their training? Good, you're prepared.
Tanong ko as a trainer, so handa ba kayo mo-accommodate? Talking about the training and then for the persons with disabilities, you are prepared to accept the blind student?
Actually, sir, this NICM Digital Literacy Training Program is not only limited to accepting person with disability, but this is geared towards people of the disadvantaged sectors, to include senior citizen, out-of-school youth, drug-dependent, rehabilitation. Last week, we graduated several drug rehabilitation program, and also families of OFWs. But regarding persons with visionary impairment, as of now, we have no immediate program for that, sir. But that concern will be brought to our office. Noted yan, sir.
Because, you know, they have a... It's not the... It must be able to communicate to them.
Yes, sir.
As against people who are...
Visually impaired.
Visually impaired, you have to have a talking computer. But for the people with disability, in the sense that they can still walk and see what's there, it's a different, they can have a normal computer.
Yes, sir.
So we're still soliciting 15 of them.
Okay, sir.
16.
So regarding your
18 na rin, 20 na lang.
20 na.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. To acknowledge that this program is in close coordination and collaboration, of course, with the SWD, with the LGU, with the academe, and other sector, let us say ICT Council in Cagayan de Oro City.
Yes, sir. I could commit in your capacity, or to improve to your capacity to cater especially for the visually impaired student. So since si Sir Jerome magbigay ng computer, ako naman...
Ay, hindi pa. Nagsusolicit pa lang ako ng computer.
Okay. Si Sir Jerome nagplano na mag-solicit ng computer. Ako naman ay commit to 10 program in your computer to access for the blind. Yung program na yan, kung bibili natin, that is 50,000 na ano natin doon sa computer, install sa computer.
Yes, sir. Thank
But
you, sir.
if you are willing to accommodate the visually impaired, may give you a 10 program.
Thank you, sir. Noted, sir.
I think we should.
Thank you.
You know, the head of the Cagayan de Oro ICT, si Stephanie, I think we should get her to get involved now. We have we are working with them on there's a conference that will be slated here that was supposed to be moved to Palawan, and we managed to swing it here back to Cagayan de Oro. So maybe this will be a discussion that I would probably raise with Stephanie.
Topic. Yes, sir. I guess, sir, is ready
Can I just see what's in your syllabus? What you teach them?
the initial, we have actually itemized the program flow from D1 to D5 to include the name of those lecturers that has expertise on this subject, because we have focal persons. For instance, sir, let me read to you the background. For instance, the Department of Information Communications Technology Mindanao Cluster 2 is bringing the ICT to the rural areas through one of its functions and powers called the Countryside Development. Part of this program is to introduce online work. Online freelancers are a fad in today's generation. Anyone can earn money with the internet as long as they have the skills employers are looking for.
Can I get a copy of that? And also I'd like to know, after the course, will they be able to get a job? Or we are still looking for computers to give them a job?
Based on our, on my experience here, since I am not the focal person actually, we have many graduates who are now working at the call center here in Cagayan de Oro City.
But one of the issues here is autism. What have we done about it? None. I am assuming none. But anyway, let's go. Job. Anything else?
Yeah, Mamila also discussed yesterday that they were giving orientation or seminars to parents with autistic children. How was that, ma'am? Just a glimpse of...
Autism or with PW?
Different disabilities, with different,
disabilities.
Yeah. The city government also, last June 1 and 2, we gave a seminar, an empowerment seminar for parents having children with disabilities, and the rationale of which was every time parents having children with disabilities came into the office, most of them or some of them were crying. No, it's so painful, but to note that there are parents who have more than one child, with disability, and they are wondering, or they are in a quandary as to what to do. So that triggered to the giving them the seminar, empowering them, telling them what to do with their children. That was for around 100 parents.
But that's only for CDO?
Or for the whole...
CDO only, CDO.
So are there plans to go further than that? Like for instance in Marawi, there should be a lot of PWDs.
Yeah, that would be beyond my capacity. So, of course, the local government of Marawi or the other.
We need a Wonder Woman.
Okay. So yes, in fact, in Cagayan de Oro, there are more than 1,500 children with disabilities are now enrolled in school in the different SPED centers, in the barangay. So barangay based, and we also have from City Central School, West, and all. So more than 1,000
Is this
children
a regular
are
school or just school?
SPEDs, so special education centers.
So in other words, they will graduate
with
a diploma.
Sure. And the city government right now is giving out, of course, from 85 cash assistance to these children. Last year 85, now we increase it to 175. So there will be more children who will be assisted, given cash assistance. Yeah.
Thank you, Oscar Moreno.
Yeah, diba? Okay. So it means also, sir, that there are the awareness, the awareness level for the sector is increasing. It has leveled up, because parents now are sending their children to school despite the disabilities, and because there are also some very good, parang kanang good news, because there are a lot of persons with disabilities right now who graduated in school, and most of them, in fact, are graduated with honors. We have a few from UP, no, from LaSalle, no, and most of them graduated with honors. So that means persons with disabilities, if only given a chance, no, to go to school. I myself is a graduate of Xavier University, so
that's Ateneo.
Oh, that's Ateneo. Oh, you see. So if we are only given the chance, no, so we would like to call in. That's why, no, the parents are. Those are some sort of new parents.
Right.
They still don't know what to do with their children. No.
I can give you up to 5 high school.
Wow. Yeah, high school. Okay, that's
elementary to high school.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
May your tribe increase.
Yeah, just
Dumami
remind
pa
me.
ang kagayan nyo.
Just remind me. Anyway, going back to for the blind, no, member of PWD. Now going back to this sidewalk, no, I think the city should work on this sidewalk thing, no. There are a lot of streets that don't have sidewalk.
Yeah,
And it's very dangerous to
That's
blind
number
members
one.
of PWD. And I think the city government, the city engineer's office, or those who are in charge in the construction for this sidewalk, they should see to it that all sidewalks should be cleared from something like illegal constructions. No, otherwise, the blinds will have to pass through. The street. It make them exposed to danger. So I think the city should also look into these sidewalks. It should be open to blind, and not only the blind. Of course, those who can see, they have to go out from the sidewalk and then pass through the streets, which put them into danger.
Yeah, like Kogon Market. There's
Kogon
no
Market, yeah.
sidewalk.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like Kogon Market. There's
Kogon
no
Market, yeah.
sidewalk.
Oh my God.
So they have to all walk in the street. Now here comes the car.
Otherwise, make the sidewalk the place for cars. And let the streets for blind.
For the vendor, okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
I have a question for the LTO, sir. Actually, the problem for the persons with disabilities now, because there are city ordinance already, the yellow box, na unloading and others. Then I am laughing for the RTE about the PWDs, because some the yellow box is far away. Now, like for example, the one of the establishment, no, far away the yellow box. So the RT allow the persons with disability to sakay or manaog without a yellow box, but there are excuses for the driver. How about the LTO? There are exemption if in case the passenger down or musakay outside the yellow box.
I don't that because I'm sure LT Frabi work this now. This is area of LT Frabi. So I think all these issues that we have been discussing here are being addressed by LT Frabi. No, it's only, I think it's more on implementing. No, or if you are a member of this PWD, all you have to do is ask for the right. What your privilege that you should have from this bus. No? So I think we should inform the public or the operators of motor vehicles that they should give space or for these PWDs. No. Well, for us LTO, we can implement rules. No. Well, if we have some problem with the jeepneys or the taxis, you can call straight LT Frabi. They have hotline. We too, LTO, we can do something about it. And you can call us through our hotline. We have numbers that's very easy to memorize. 999-1000-111. Simple number to memorize. So if you have a problem like that, now you can get the number, plate number, the name of the jeepney or taxi, then call us, and I will be the one to coordinate with LT Frabi. No. So ako, as calling all our our Cagayanos out there who have witnessed this program, help us out. If there are complaints, if you complain something, if you disagree or what have an verbal abuse by these drivers, you can call straight LTFRB or LTO.
Going back to complaints, when do you think can we implement the taxi form for complaints?
Yeah, we can.
For complaints.
Yeah, we can have it. Actually, in line with the program that you have presented to the group LTO, no? I really appreciate the gestures of Jerome to really help out the Cagayanos, no? For one, no? And this is not only for those who are not PWDs. This also include PWDs. Now, he suggested to have this paper from all restaurant, hotels. Whenever you take a taxi, the number of taxi and the plate number that's there, you can just jot the number. In case of situation like short change, or if you left something in your car, you can call the number in your favor. That's a very good, actually. But in advancing the intention of Jerome, it's a very nice idea, and I think we have discussed that some time ago, and we had a meeting with Kawara, and I don't know what happened with that. No, I am waiting for the result. No, for the design, I think. But in line with that suggestion you had, Manager Jerome, I got these two numbers, direct numbers, no, and it's posted in the Facebook, our Facebook LTO RX10. You can have your number there. You can email us. Point is, I am bringing LTO closer to the homes, no, to the people, so that if you have some problem in your car, in your registration, in your driver's license, you can call us immediately. Otherwise, you can go to our office. I'll be there with half copy ready for Jerome or anybody.
All right. So we have discussed so many things this time. So we open the floor to our media. They're still here. Thank you guys for staying. So please state your name and your media outlet and your question, and who would you like to give the question to? Yes, Ms. Lizelle.
Sir, may hapon.
Yes, ma'am.
My question, sir, is what are the PWDs going to do if the taxi drivers fails to bring them to a place just because of the reason that they don't want their taxi to get mud?
Muddy. Don't argue with the driver. Just get the number, the plate number, and the name of the taxi. For sure, they will be called upon by LTFRB. And I will be attending the meeting set by LTFRB.
Yes, sir. A follow-up question.
And have a close and sincere discussion with the owners and the drivers. You know, these are public utilities. They should render services as required by them.
Yes, sir. A follow-up question,
it's very important for them to really serve our community. Not for those who can pay more. Not for those who are in good health. But all. That includes our PWD people. No one can deny. No taxi drivers or jeepneys can deny passengers who are PWDs. And that is very, I think the government is very strict on this. No, we can suspend driver's license. The LTFRB can suspend the operator's franchise because of this refusal to bring the passenger who are especially the PWDs to their respective destination.
Okay, sir, a follow-up question. Some taxi drivers make it as they made it as a practice already now, not to give it right change. So every time you pay 100 pesos and then you should be receiving 2 pesos and 50 or 3 pesos or something like that. They'll just simply say, I run out of coins. I just came out from our house. So it had been a practice already. So, sir, what is your comment about that, sir?
Yes, even that simple, besides 10 pesos, 5 pesos, 1 peso, dili mo sukli, that's something that has to be addressed, no? Even in the store, 1 centavo or 5 centavos if we will not give you the change. That can be an issue. No? So how much more for 10 pesos or 10 pesos? Usually, there are taxi drivers who demand more for PWDs, no? And that's not allowed. It's not allowed.
Yes, sir.
So as again, if don't argue, just get the number and dial us.
Pinakalas na yun, sir. You've mentioned earlier, sir, that naglaraw ka nga Cagayan de Oro will also have a push-button bus for the PWDs. So, ang mga bus, so they will have this murag ramp. And then, just like from outside the country, the PWDs will have a special treatment because it would be hard for them to go up the bus. Do you think, sir, na we can have that in within 3 years?
Yeah, everything is doable, no? Looking into the other countries, no? They have done that. Why can't we? So that's the issue. What is important is, are we sincere in implementing rules or requiring these bus operators to have these gadgets for our PWDs? No? It's, I think, the willpower of the government to really come up with these requirements. As of now, LTO don't have that, the basic requirements, no? Except LT4B. Now, if that is, I'm sure there are laws to be followed. No, we have to implement that.
Okay.
What my concern now is that our passenger, the PWDs at that, should be given priority in any kind of transport that are there. No, so dili lang taxi, not only for taxis, not only for buses, not only for jeepneys, but all transport mode of transportation should adapt. All those are required by the government, especially this for PWD. On our part, we can call attention. We can there are penalties on these things. No, I'm not so familiar with. This is my first time that I have to look into the PWDs. All I could remember was they should not be refused. No, on particular issues, I haven't researched yet. No. I'm quite new in the office, and I haven't dwelled myself on this, the rules to be implemented with regards to the PWD's rules. No? Well, I heard from a friend those kinds of rules. I think I have to look into it. No? But one thing for sure, no PWDs should be deprived of the seats in any mode of transportation.
Sir, daghang salamat kayo, sir. I really have the heart for PWDs because my father was also a part of the PWD and he was also on wheels. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lizelle of Brigada News.
But you know, we really need to look into it because it's not only here in Cagayan. I mean, now that we're dealing with China, China is the one that produces the buses for Singapore. Well, then we already have the lead that China is the one doing our buses in Singapore, and this is specially made. Now it's different in Indonesia. In Indonesia, the ramp of the bus and the ramp and the entry to the bus is the same height, but you have to go up. It's not like in Singapore, in Malaysia, the ramp goes down, and the driver has to go down and make sure that he pushes you or assists you. Then he goes back to his side and then moves on.
Actually, all our terminals have this kind of construction thing, no? Usually the buses parked on the area wherein they can the PWs with wheelchair can go straight to the bus inside, and the problem is going down from the bus in any area outside the terminal. Most of the terminals that we have are equipped with this. The gutter is just the level of with the ramp of the bus, the step of the bus, no? The step and the ramp, the gutter is just on the right length, no? I think it's about
off the first step.
Yes.
But the question is how to bring a wheelchair up.
Yeah, the ramp that you're talking about, when in times that they will get off from the bus outside from the terminal, that's the problem now. If I could still remember right, there are buses that most of the buses made in China. You're talking about China. Most of these can be equipped with this ramp, no? But they have to pay more.
Yes.
So I think what we have to look into are the owners of the bus. No, I have to talk to the owner of the bus. They should be concerned of this member of the community that we have. No,
maybe a little incentive. Maybe a little incentive. You know, because
they can come up with that.
importation.
Yes.
So maybe there's a cost factor here, but maybe if the incentive is given.
Yes,
See, the difference
that's a very good suggestion, no? For every the cost of the ramp, you can deduct that tax.
Yeah,
actually,
like
because
you know, in Singapore, it's GOCC, government controlled. So really, we don't have to worry on that. But it's also we are still into profits. But here, maybe the concern is the cost of importation. Don't forget, our dollar now is $1 is equivalent to 50 pesos, 50.50. So that's quite a big amount. Even if it's in China, $1 is 6 RMB. But to a peso, it's one yuan is 7 pesos. So we maybe have to look into the cost factor, and maybe the only way is maybe incentives, tax incentives. But I'm sure we're coming that way already. I mean, now that we're very open about PWDs, I think things will change. It's just a matter of political rule, and whoever is in there can help us secure a better share of what is the benefits you can get from the government, not only from the government, but also from the private sector. Jam, anything else? Mila, you have anything?
Yeah, talking about what's this, accessibility on the transport group. Actually, I am also a member of the National Anti-Poverty Commission, and we have initially had a meeting, I mean, the council, NAPSI Council for the PWDs had an initial meeting with the OTR on this issue, making our transportation facilities accessible. So I just hope it reached here, in all regions already. But I guess it's not. Kaya murag wala pa mahinaan ni sir. But hopefully, our transportation facilities all over the country will be, accessible now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And on, if I may, on the the other laws, say for instance on the privileges, the discounts, we wish the sector of persons with disabilities, not only here in Cagayan de Oro, all over the country and all over the world, I guess, we're looking forward to some sort of that these laws will not just will not become reactive to what had been there. I mean, every time there are complaints or those in authorities are just waiting for complaints before they will react on it or act on it, right? So, say for instance on the discounts, so the establishments would wait for the complaints first before they will give the discounts. Now, rather than doing that, I guess we're calling on everyone, the establishments and the government also to become proactive. And the laws are in place. What I guess was missing is the implementation, the full implementation of these laws.
But Mila, this is one thing. Having the laws there, but nobody really gets to read the law is two issues. One, even for instance, in my case, the only why I'm very concerned because of course our senior citizen gets the discount. So automatically we give to the PWDs. But the question is some of the restaurants, are they really aware? Because there's a protocol here, like you buy something, you have to enlist yourself, show your ID, then you get the approval. Sorry, but it all happens in my favorite drugstore. Do you get the discount? No, you have to go to one lane and you have to go through the rigmarole. For as long as you have an ID. You know, the senior citizen, I'm a senior citizen, I'm 61 years old. I don't have a senior citizen's ID and I don't really bother, but automatically if you fall in line with the senior citizen, you show that you're right. My license is my real
age. I never doctored my license.
Is that 71?
No, I'm 61. I started driving at the age of 16. I already was driving, but it was really reflected that I was 16 when I started to drive. So, people don't believe I'm senior citizen. Who cares? For as long as I can present you an ID that says my birth, I don't need a senior citizen's ID. Because my driver's license is a government-issued license. They should honor my driver's license. Not having to fall in line and get a senior citizen's ID. For what? That's my thoughts on here.
Usually, most of our subdivisions here require for the driver's license now. They are not allowed. They are not supposed to get your driver's license. That's why I wrote most of these subdivisions asking them, please don't take the driver's license from the drivers.
All right, so we'd like to thank Lux Hotel's General Manager, of course, Mr. Jerome de la Fuente, for spending your time with us, and for this beautiful venue, and of course to our guests from the PWD and the national government agencies, media and bloggers as well, who came here today, and to our Amitel viewers. I'd like to extend our big thanks to Parasat Cable TV. In behalf of our Regional Director, Franklin P. Gumapon, this is Jam Rukat. Thank you for your consistent support in this Talakayan. Until the next episode, thank you and good day.
Kakayahan, parehong karapatan.
Kaya kong magtrabaho.
Karapatan kong maglibang. Kaya kong tumugtog para sa buong mundo.
Karapatan namin, kakayahan namin. Igalang ninyo. A message from the National Council on Disability Affairs. Define normal. Party animal. Geek. Athlete. Blind. Fat, deaf, rocker, physically impaired. We are all equal. We are all the same. Change your attitude. Defy normal. A message from the National Council on Disability Affairs.